Hello, comrades of the internet. We all live here in this virtual future, terrified of human interaction. But it's fine, because we can spend our time watching videos of spooky infrastructure in the lead up to Halloween. So here's me heading down into Brighton from where I live. Please don't come and pelt rotten vegetables at my windows. You probably noticed there the first annoying thing as a cyclist, which was the ASL, the advanced stop line, had been crossed by that driver. So the space at the front of the junction with a nice big picture of a bike to show that bikes are meant to be there had a car in it. And also, yes, I know that the camera is listing like the Herald of Free Enterprise ferry outside Zeebrugge Harbour in 1987, but rest assured I am about to fix that. See? Oh, the power of editing. On the left, actually, on that lamppost, there did used to be a passive-aggressive note from a cyclist reminding drivers that they're not meant to drive into the ASL. But clearly, a driver was so enraged by it that they've torn it off the lamppost. So the cosmic ballet goes on. Okay, here we go. There's 2 lanes here. I would say most not experienced cyclists would find this far too scary to even bother with. I always go for the outside lane if I can here, because the inside lane is often filled with people trying to turn left, and often a lot of them don't even bother using their indicators, so it can be quite tricky to figure out what's going on. And also, as we go down past the Brighton Open Market and the level, the reason I'm in the right-hand lane is you can join a shared use footpath at the bottom here, which is a really handy little shortcut when heading down into town. Has anyone else noticed that all these motorbike drivers have eternal L plates? So here is the aforementioned shared use pavement, and then from here, if the lights are in your favour, you can kind of cross onto this road here, which is quite a quiet one. It's mainly taxis and buses, and after the road up the hill towards the station, it's actually great braking there. It's actually cyclist, bus and taxi only. So there is an off-road cycle path, but it's quite an irritating one to take in places because it gives way for every single junction, and there are quite a few junctions, and this leads to, and also it's a shared pedestrian and cyclist junction. So there's a lot of conflict which has been built in. As we do have a green council in Brighton at the moment, I would strongly urge them to make the cycle path that heads all the way down to the pier to be continuous, so that cyclists and pedestrians have right of way rather than drivers. That would be my hot tip for any Brighton councillors out there. So just here, you can actually turn right there. There's a little pavement cycle path, and if you follow that up, that'll take you up past the Dome Theatre into the North Lane. But then it's quite tricky from there to get to the seafront. So instead, you're sent this way, and this here is an example of that off-road cycle route that I was talking about. And in a moment, you're going to see a couple of cyclists coming across. There they are. Ooh. So yes, they're supposed to wait twice there, along with pedestrians, in quite a narrow little space in order to continue their ride, which would not be the case in a country like the Netherlands, where you would simply have right of way. As you can see, they didn't bother waiting, and it is quite scary. Both cyclists and pedestrians are in a position where they don't necessarily notice that people are turning into this road from both directions. So again, sort of conflict is built in a space where it would be so easy to make this more welcoming to pedestrians, to cyclists, to people on mobility scooters, people on pogo sticks. But yes, here we can see people are crossing, even though it's a green light. And I know that just here is really dangerous. When I slow down here for this person who nearly crosses, I know that's a really, really dangerous spot. There's a lot of KSIs, if I believe that is the right term. A lot of death and injuries here. I did see a guy like lying prone on the floor here, who had just been hit by a car as recently as Wednesday. And again, these are all such avoidable deaths. So this is such a strange cycle lane, because it just puts you again right in conflict with these pedestrians here, and it's not really clear where you're supposed to go from here. I think this is an attempt to sort of siphon cyclists away from that main drag down to the pier and the roundabout, but it just means you're kind of a bit stuck. Like I here in the video, I genuinely have no idea where I'm supposed to go. I can dimly remember that there's a shared bike and cycle path down there to the left, which I'm going to use to get to my hotel. But as you can see, I'm kind of making it up as I go along here. I'm allowed to go this way? Don't think I am. Can I glide along this pavement until it becomes a road again? Probably not. I could have been harpooned by the anti-bike police there. And then there's a really horrible little drop. Oh, there it is. And then you join this path for cyclists and pedestrians. I think this one's quite popular with Deliveroo and Did Somebody Just Eat Me? So go through here, and then I'm going to go past the lovely pipeline where I hosted my gig on Wednesday. This road claims to be closed, but it's not if you're on a bike. And then we will finally arrive at the seafront very shortly. I hope you enjoyed this spooky video. I think the conclusions I would draw from it are that even somewhere like Brighton, that is meant to be cyclist and walking friendly, it's still very counterintuitive and a bit of a slog. And it could be improved extremely easily and be made more joyous for all. And look at these pricks parked on the pavement.